Okay, so audio's back in. Okay, so what's going to happen is when the audio goes out, we will just take a quick break, like 30 seconds. I will say audio's out, and then we'll reconnect and everything. It's going to happen at least once while we do the tutorial. I'm just saying so that when we do the tutorial.
Yeah, for us, but like let them know, like, hey, we're gonna have we're gonna cut out every now and then.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, there's going to be some audio outs. Audio out and in. I know now what it is that causes it, so Juno. Yes, it's very yes. Okay, so audio is back in. Okay, so ding dong. So you have all the files ready?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we need to, of course, put the power in the correct one, and we need to put the video in the correct one. Yes. Okay. So we are now updating. So we are now going to update the undammed udcps2 supergun. We're going to update the USB controllers.
I don't need the. I guess I can use video cables, not necessarily. Okay, so unplug us, and then we'll.
Okay, so the cables for the sticks are right here. You have that one ready to go.
Yes, ma'am.
So so let's do this from the beginning.
Done. So we're live. Audio is all good, and all that stuff.
Yes, we are live. We have audio right now. What we're going to do is we're going to update the undammed udcps2 supergun.
Yes.
There are 2 USB ports. They are independent controllers, which means we have to do 2 firmware updates.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's one firmware, but they get applied to different ports. That's all.
Correct, because they're like 2 different chips that both have to be updated.
Exactly. So basically, you start off. Obviously, you have to have an undammed supergun. So hit up undammed at udgametech@gmail.com if you want more information. So basically, they're consoleized arcade ports. So for Super Turbo, for example, we can play arcade ST with USB support. So you can plug in your standard Mad Catz, your Hori stick, your anything USB powered will work with it. And so this firmware, what it's going to do is provide more controller support. Because initially it supported a lot of the mainstream stuff, but there were some like fringe Hori sticks, certain models of Mad Catz sticks that wouldn't work right. So now they are all supported by the undammed supergun. So
which makes it very awesome.
Yeah, it makes it way better, way better. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, after buying the undammed, is that you email undammed. He'll send you firmware 1.2. That's the newest one currently. I just emailed them last week, so it is the most up-to-date thing. So you get those files. It'll come in a small zip, which I will show in a moment. But right now, I'm going to plug in the USB cable. And if you can just see, it's just a standard USB cable with male ANs on both sides. Very standard. You can pick it up at your local Radio Shack, Best Buy, monoprice.com, Amazon, anywhere you want.
If you have the time, you don't need it right away, definitely monoprice.com. You get this super cheap, super simple.
It's like 20 cents. It's dirt cheap.
So we plug it into the laptop, whatever computer you have the files in.
And then if you come around on this side,
and then you just plug it
in any port. So I'll go with player 1 port for now.
Because you're going to have to do both ports.
Yeah, you're going to have to do both ports. We'll start with player 1 side. And then Tanya, if you could find our angle to point it at this thing right here. Or
I'll just put it right there.
No, they're saying audio. I hope the audio is okay. It seems okay.
Audio is good now.
Yeah.
No, that was from a long time ago.
Okay.
They haven't been chatting for a while.
Okay, so basically he'll email you a zip file which looks like this, okay? And inside you'll see 4 files. 2 .hex files, which is used for firmware, and 2 text files, okay? And really, he only needs to send us 3, but he sent us the original firmware just in case something goes wrong. You can flash it back to the original software programming, so no big deal. So here's the update, the 1.2. Here's the text file right here, which gives you instructions on how to do it. Very clear.
How to update FW.
And then this text file is actually meant to be converted into a .exe file.
There's no conversion. You just have to rename it, and we assume that the reason he did this was because sometimes when you send files over the internet, exe files are sometimes flagged as virus containing and whatever bullshit.
So when you pull up the instructions menu, here it is, the basic notepad. You to open up. It'll tell you unzip the files, and then here's the important part: rename the HID bootloader.txt into bootloader.exe. And the way you do that is at first you have to go into start. Where does it start? Control panel.
Folder options.
Folder options.
Because a lot of people, they don't have where you can see the file extensions of files.
Yes.
Windows automatically, by default, they hide the file extensions because they assume that we are all morons and we can't handle an extra anything.
Yeah, pretty much. So when you see a file name, you'll see at the end like a .exe, .txt. It's just denotes what kind of file
If you
type
don't
it is.
see that, you need to do this right now. Go into folder options.
Exactly.
And there's some, I think, advanced options or something.
You go into View, and then this box right here, it says Hide Extensions for known file types. You want that unchecked. That's it. And you click Apply, you do OK. And then once you do that, you will see... Let's see, that's a zip file. So I unzip that file into desktop, and then here's the actual files you're going to use. And I already changed it, but here you see, ud_hid bootloader.exe.
You can just click on it slowly twice, and it allows you to rename the file.
Yeah, so you just go here, and then it used to be a .txt file, like so, and then you simply erase it, type in exe. That's it, enter.
Obviously, you can't do this for any file. You can't turn any file into an
No.
exe. This was originally an exe. It was just renamed for whatever reason.
Exactly. So you do that, it turns to exe, okay?
This has nothing to do with actual firmware upgrade.
Yeah. This is the general stuff. So then you just double-click the program, you click Run, pray to God it's not a virus, and look, very simple little interface right here. So it says device not detected, verified device is in bootloader mode. Okay, that's perfectly normal. So we check out what's the next step. And it says here, okay, open the bootloader application, done. And then step 4, hold the test button on the udcps2 and power it up. So
let's explain
if you
what
look
that
over
is.
here, this is the side of the undammed USB or USB
the front
consoleized
left side
thing. It looks like a standard arcade cabinet. You have a test menu here, volume up, volume down. So the test menu, normally when you turn it on, it lets you go into the in-game settings to change the speed. It lets you set the difficulty for the CPU. It lets you test button controls. It lets you set the free play, all that stuff. So what you want to do is you want to hold it down, and while you do that, if you go in the back, there's a power switch in the back of the undammed. You just turn it on.
Is the audio back in, guys?
Okay, check back. Okay, so
Cool.
we're back. So
Okay, guys, we're live.
so let's go over the last part after we turn it
no
off.
problem. So we turn it off, and then you hold the test menu button, and you turn the power back on, right? If you can see that right there.
So
The one on the far left is the test menu button.
you hold it,
Yeah.
and while you're holding it, you power it on.
switch,
You might have to do this twice.
Yeah.
For some reason, it didn't work the first time. But then once you do that on the front,
Finally, you know.
you will see here that it is now blinking red and green.
Yes, and that means you're in bootloader mode, which means it will communicate with your laptop, your computer.
With your computer
whatever it is.
to do the firmware.
And then on your laptop, you'll see, okay, USB device detected, installing whatever stuff. Okay, so you do that. So now, all right, USB cable's on. The super gun's on. That's the important part. It sounds a little counterintuitive to turn something on and then try to update it, but
you have to have power in order for it to read anything.
True. But like most things, get powered from the USB typically. But so now it's on. So now what we do here is from the bootloader, select the desired firmware file, and then once you do that, click Program and Verify. So let's go into the bootloader file. Right, where is it? Here it is. Okay, so it says it went from device not detected to device attached. So your computer's seeing the undammed, it's all good, everything's happy. Open the hex file, and then in this case, I had the firmware updates in the same file as where I unloaded the bootloader. So now we click on 1.2, that's the newest version. Obviously, if you want to go back to the old version for whatever reason, you click 1.1, so we do 1.2. and then you click Program Verify, and then it'll kind of go through this process, and then in seconds later, boom, done. You'll see Erase Program Verify completed successfully. So now it's updated.
That's
simple.
it.
It's really that simple.
Took like 5 seconds.
Yeah, so then you do that, but you're not quite done yet. Okay, that's the one port.
We've done player 1 right now. So player 1 USB is updated.
Yeah, so what you have to do now is that you have to go back to the USB cable on the undammed. So if you could see.
So we need to turn it off again, yes?
No, you just move it over.
Oh, we just move it over.
Yeah.
Ah, very nice. So we don't have
Pretty
to...
sure.
Okay, well, let's
So
try
you
it out.
see, it's still flashing, no big deal. So unplug it. Go to the next one. And it should still... Should.
No.
Alright, should we unplug it again?
Yeah, unplug it again and replug it, but we might have to turn it off. If we do turn it off, we have to redo the audio again.
That's possible.
Yep.
Yep, okay, so let's turn it off.
Okay. So guys, we might lose some audio right now.
Staying with us, we'll be back in a few seconds.
Yeah. Go ahead and turn it off.
Should I just try it again, just to make sure?
Lost audio. Sergiv, so hot, so sexy, so juicy. We're back on live. Okay.
Okay, so while we were briefly away, I basically just turned it off and turned it back on again. Again, you have to hold test menu and turn on the power button, and you'll enter the bootloader mode. And as you can see, I've put it into the 2-player port, and now the LED is flashing green and red, which means we're back in bootloader mode. And the same thing as before, you go into the bootloader, you'll see the device. It says device attached, so we know we're connected. So now we click on Open Hex File, 1.2, Program Verify, and 5 seconds later, we're done. So that's it. Erase Program Verify completed successfully. So we are done. So all you have to do now is just power down the CPSU, udcps2. Take off the cable, you're good to go.
Boom.
So
Done.
let's take it off. And no audio, most likely. Check 1,
There we go.
2.
Check, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have back audio. Everything is good. Now we just need to plug in the controllers and verify that it works.
Of course, very important.
I put them right here. The cables are right here somewhere. Here's one, I think, and here's two.
This is mine, this is Tanya's.
Now there's still a little confusion about you can just
Full
plug
buttons.
this. Oh, so you do
we
have
should
to
show
still.
this off, right? How to plug in the thing.
Yeah, so we might as well while we're at it. When you plug in a joystick into the udcps2, sometimes you don't have to do it, but it's best to always hit the top 3 buttons, the punch buttons in this case,
Yes.
while you are plugging the USB cable into the udcps2.
Yeah. So all you do is you hold the 3 face buttons on your stick while plugging it in, which takes a bit of coordination, but we're kind of used to it by now.
It's easier when you have 2 people.
Yeah. So if you show the front up here. So while she's holding down the buttons, I'm going to plug it in, and she has to keep it held down for a couple of seconds. And when you do, you'll see that LED flash green, and that means you have to input your button. So you input light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, light kick, medium kick, heavy kick, and you're done. That's it.
And then you're done.
So I'll do the same thing with my stick, which I don't think needs it, but who knows.
Here, hold on, El Trouble.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
No.
go ahead. Cool.
Same thing. Plug it in.
Wait for the green
solid
light to happen.
It will flash right now. So plug it in. Type.
Let's go.
Type. Done. Now you can play.
You have configured the game, the controller.
We don't have audio, guys.
Huh?
We don't have audio?
We can't hear the game.
Oh, that's probably because the volume is all the way down. Try to turn it up. There you go. We have game audio, so very nice. Woohoo!
So now we're set. It's that easy. Let's see. Oh, what are you
So
guys doing?
Let's verify that everything works.
How much is the Undammed Supergun? You'll have to email Undammed. I'm not sure what his prices are. I think it's 400 plus shipping. So it is a big chunk of change, but for the ability to play any CPS2 game, not just Super Turbo, you can play Alpha 2, Alpha 3, Vampire Savior, anything that was made on the CPS2 arcade architecture.
I believe there's currently, 30, 40?
It's like 43 games.
Yeah. Everything works good? You're happy? Happy Scrappy Coco? Very nice. So what we'll do is we'll edit the little tutorial that we just did.
Oh.
We'll throw it up on YouTube, and that way you guys can watch it in all its glory. For all of you billions of people out there that have a udcps2 that want to learn how to update the firmware.
Yes.
The billions.
That's it. Really
The
simple,
billions,
really
the
easy to go.
masses.
So don't quote me on the price, but that should be kind of the ballpark of what you're looking at.
Yeah, I believe that the official street price, MSRP, as they say in Japan, is $400. On them, he may have some promotions, or he may want to charge you more because you are ice hole. You know, that is between him and you. So you, if you want to get a hold of Endland, of course, I believe he is on Twitter.
Yes. I think
let-
that's the Undammed.
Let me go to the twitter.com.
Not what I wanted. So yeah, Narcosian, I